Hey, how y'all doing? Oh. What's going on, y'all? It is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. You know how I know today is Wednesday? Because yesterday was Tuesday. And Tuesday was my birthday. Ha, yay. Happy birthday to me. Okay, I am 1 year older and 1 year wiser, so you have to be nice to me. Well, you don't have to be, but you should be. Comics. We doing comics tonight. We doing comics tonight. We doing comics tonight. I got a lot of other stuff I want to talk about, but I'm gonna hold off. Wait till a couple more of y'all get up in here before I get started. I don't want everybody to miss everything because we're gonna do some deep diving into. Well, since I didn't find anything of depth or substance last week, so Ultimate Black Panther 21 is the one we're gonna start off with, and then the rest of them is just gonna be like classics. So this is for those of y'all that ain't rock with them, this would be like a sort of a new schooling type thing. And for those of y'all that had them and don't have them anymore, then this will be a walk down memory lane for you. Anansi, what's up? He said it's comic book time. Yes, it is. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Not tell him slid up in the building. What's going on, bro? We got one. We got a couple. Okay. Yeah. What's up, brother Theo? Theo in the building. Hey, real quick question. Is it any cardiac fans in the building? Is it any cardiac, y'all? Cardiac. This here. Yeah, you can see that better. Yeah. This here is my copy of Amazing Spider-Man 344. The first appearance of Cardiac, if I am not mistaken. Okay, yeah. Hasbro recently announced that New York Comic Con, they got a Cardiac figure they dropped. Two. It was actually yesterday, but thank you. Anyways. Happy birthday. Too many more years to come. I receive and believe that, and I tell him yes. I remember Cardiac when I used to collect Spider-Man books in the 90s. Well, I think I have the first 4. We're going to say 4. That's 1. Get they in the back. Why don't I just pull them from the back instead of doing all this other stuff? Gotta work smarter, not harder. Yeah, that's 1, 2. Yes, the first 4 appearances of Cardiac. I know he went on to do some things. I think with the Thunderbolts. Well, I don't know if he was with the Thunderbolts, but I know he popped up in a Thunderbolts comic book. But yeah. Dusty. I'm gonna do some dusting. Oh my goodness. How about this fall? You know what? Technically, that's a quorum or more. We're gonna be able to start. Look at the figure. It's missing waist articulation. I'm still getting it. I told Mr. Smith that Doc from G.I. Joe would be his civilian disguise. Well, maybe it's the way Eric Larson drew him in his first appearance, but I kind of got the impression that Cardiac was kind of an older guy, or at least a middle-aged guy at the most. So does Doc strike you as middle-aged looking? Looking over there at my Joe's. I'm looking at Doc right now. Hold up. Let me go. Ha, look at that, y'all. Y'all like that? Y'all like that? That's one of my birthday presents. That's one of my birthday presents. Ah, that's fly, ain't it? Yeah, I know. Okay, now that I'm looking at the actual figure, yes, 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 yes. He actually would work. Good choice, sir. Very, very good choice, sir. Now tell him, say I have that Cardiac snag one for $20 at Tampa Comic Con. Say haven't even opened it up yet. Well, we might pop the. I got my skeleton gloves. You know what I'm saying? I just did what I use. You know what I'm saying? When I want to put my hands on some, you know what I'm saying, on some VIP stuff. You dig me? You know what I'm saying? I got the skeleton gloves for that. That's how we handles them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a buck about mine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got them oils. You got them oils. Them oils got acid in them, and you know what I'm saying? So if I got a really nice copy, or I don't have a really nice copy, the last thing I want to do is degrade it more. That being said, all right, you love it. This is a brand new 2025. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some oils on this. Yeah. I mean, if you wanna, like, my suggestion is, and you want to still be able to view it, look at it, peruse it, whatever. Not so much digital, probably trade paperbacks. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of, you know, and they'll put like I want to say like 10 stories or 10 comics in one trade paperback. You get 2-3 of them, man. You have all of it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't take too much. But anyway, we're going to talk about this comic right here, like we haven't been talking about this house for the past week. All right. I did a video earlier this week, Revelations Like a Mug. You can catch it on my channel right here. A lot of stuff was revealed, and we focused on the one part where we was talking about, you know, who's tapping what. You know what I'm saying? We got into that, and we don't even know. Well, I guess we kind of suspect though what Aurora's response gonna be. You know what I'm saying? When she get back and it's like, oh, so it's like that. Yeah, it's like that. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? I got with a better man. I don't know. I don't know. She free spirit, free thinker. You know what I'm saying? And them the ones you got to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm bringing this to the table, so you got to bring something to the table too. And if you ain't got nothing, I'm already king, girl. You need to, you know, have a little. Don't be so ratchet. I guess what I'm getting at. You know, you don't want your wife, your future queen, because I mean, let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? If we let Brian Hill have his way, he gonna do some Reginald Hudlin type shit with Ultimate Black Panther. And we will probably see kids in that universe. You feel me? Before we see kids in the 616. Anyways, though. Shuri, let's talk about Shuri for a minute. Let's talk about Shuri. Okay. Shuri been the ones, selling Wakanda out. Shuri. Sure, because we focus too much on Killmonger and the Black Panther over here with that drama. Anyways, focus, and she's a traitor. Let's just put it like that. What up, Grovey? In the build, Nazi? All right, let's keep going. Anyways, she a traitor. Let's just call it what it is. Are we comfortable with that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure that an arc will come where she gets to redeem herself, but do we realize that what she did? Even if for the best of intentions. You manipulated stuff behind the scenes, which, you know what I'm saying, is your right, but your father got killed behind it. I mean, it's for bigger and better things, but I don't know. We know T'Challa wouldn't have been with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why she had to do it that way. But I guess for my money, and this is just me, I don't want to bag and bomb on her. I'm going to just hit it and quit it and be done. I wanted it to be Okoye. So then we'd have a reason to get her up out of there. And maybe make her the Malice of the 6160. I don't know. It ended up being Shuri. So it's like now we got to deal with the aftermath of that. I don't know about this here universe Black Panther, but in that other universe, in 616, he holds a grudge. And he sometimes makes vows. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? You gonna pay for what you did. So we move on. And Okoye point blank asks her, "Did you kill your father?" And she looked her dead in her face and said, "No, but I let it happen." And she went on to say some other stuff. And then the look on Okoye's face, she just like, "Oh, Shuri, girl, you on some old other shit." You know what I mean? And she goes on to tell her, everything about, okay, the progenitors, and your fathers knew, and your father's fathers knew. And okay, and I'm not going to glaze over it since we got a few minutes. I'm going to read it to you. My father knew the truth about vibranium, about the progenitors, about what was coming. And like every generation of Wakanda, they thought they had more time, willing to risk all of us to keep the truth hidden, to protect their legacy. Your brother will hate you now. My brother is either already dead or he must kill what he was to be what he can be. Damn. This is a war of gods, Okoye. Khonshu knew that. You must accept that. The last time I saw T'Challa, he was changing. May my brother finish his great becoming. Mm. 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 So, uncomfortable truths. Does The public does have a right to know uncomfortable truths, but how do we act when no uncomfortable truths are revealed to us? Think about it. Maybe what Shuri's saying is dead on, but maybe she could have trusted her brother a little more. Maybe. I mean, it was gangster. I ain't gonna front. It was gangster. And then you don't really love your daddy. For the prophecy to come true, you got to kill your daddy. For us to win this war that's coming, you have to let your daddy die. That's a strong one. That's a strong one. I mean, because we're looking at it from the point of, you know what I'm saying, that's them some tough ass choices to make. So hot take. Because she can make a choice like that, I say she would make a great Black Panther. You have to make choices like that as the Black Panther. You making choices for what's best in the name of what's best for Wakanda, not for yourself or other people. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And I like the part, you know, where you find the city where the progenitors, you know, gonna portal through at, and you got this liquid vibranium running underneath it, you know, and these automatons that I guess were supposed to guard it until, you know, T'Challa got there and started whooping everybody's ass. But we got, you know, Shuri saying she want to make a difference. She wants to make a difference. She wants to be able to do what needs to be done in a war that she knows is coming. But we seen how that assassin got at her a few issues ago. You know what I'm saying? You jumped off out the building and like you was ready to squabble, and that assassin was getting at you, and you had to have a rescue. Yeah, maybe she need to hang back in the Panther Megazord, and you know, no, for real. In the background, right there, what that look like? What that look like in the background? Panther Zord, go! Go, go, Power Rangers! That's what that look like. Now, I don't want to keep y'all too long because we gonna do the deep dive, but we ain't gonna go too deep. Ah, Spider-Man 344. Now that ain't what I wanted to focus on. I didn't want to focus on just Spider-Man 344, but I wanna give you some key points that you want to observe, because number one, as I pointed out earlier, we are getting a cardiac action figure. Now, question: do you think having an action figure affects the value of your figure in a positive way or a negative way? Yes, I thought so too, y'all. Stay tuned. From what I've been told, the comic industry is growing. That's what that's what we was told about, you know, what's going on here in America. Our industry is experiencing growth. Um, that is, you know what I'm saying? Take a look real close. Now, that's where you see along the on the rib. That's where the so you don't want to be Eric Larson art. It's so distinctive. Um, but this is the first appearance of Cardiac. Oh, boom. Who remembers this? Remember that on the Nintendo? Them ads on the back of comics, bro. Them ads on the back of comics. Yeah, this is where, we got a lot of the events leading up to what would give us the events that gave us Carnage. And Carnage was all the rage in the 90s. Him and Venom, they couldn't do no wrong. Anyways, but then during the Bagley era, we got another Cardiac appearance. I was particularly fond of the Mark Bagley run on Spider-Man, and I collected most of that. I loved that Sidekick Revenge, round robin, the Sidekick Revenge, because it got all of the hot characters of the 90s together in one comic book kicking ass. You had Nova, you had Night Thrasher, you had Darkhawk, you had the Punisher, you had Moon Knight, of course, and you had Spider-Man. That was a extremely good run. Yeah. It's just a Mark Bagley cover here. Because I don't think he took over till later, but his art ain't too bad either. But it's more like this cat tried to make his look like Eric Larson's. You know what I mean? Because he's got Eric Larson-y looking. Now, bro, check it. Remember, he had this little glider thingy that his staff attached to, and he could fly off with it. We need that accessory. Marvel Legends. Hello. We need that accessory. Y'all need to make that yesterday. See, you go back, you look at the comics, and you see little things like this, and it make you go, yeah, exactly. Who remembers Sticks and Stones? Who remembers Sticks and Stones? That was a pretty kind of era for Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? It's certain eras, that I really like ran with it and fool with it. Like back in the day, like the 70s, like when Ross Andrew was drawing, and I think Marv Wolfman was doing the story. I think. Don't give me the line though. And this ain't even a Mark Bagley stuff. This is somebody else. But he dealing with Sticks and Stones. Yeah, because they draw Cardiac a little different. He looks a little different. Whoopsie. Let me do that. There. See that version of Cardiac? I mean, he's got a little more detail to him, but I don't know. I don't like the way. He said, you asked for the glider, a head sculpt, and another staff. My man. Y'all like that my gloves are Halloween themed? Yeah, yeah, that's on purpose. That's on purpose. Mm, yeah, you got to take care of your stuff because it does things like pay closing costs on homes. Anyways, um, and the fourth and final appearance, well, the fourth appearance of a Spider-Man run, the Fury, the Fury of Cardiac. You know that's cover art. You know what I'm saying? You know that probably ain't there. That ain't there. Cause I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember what happened in this book. Okay. See, been a while. Ain't been off in it. They had a contract with Crunching Munch back in the day. I bet them trading cards is worth a grip now. Anywho. Join the Marvel Dream Team. Swing into action with 3 hot new Spider Man video games. Team up with the X-Men for nonstop challenge and arcade revenge for Super NES. Disarm. Ba-dum-bum. Doc Octopus's evil plan in Return of the Sinister Six on NES. And in Carnage's reign of terror in the Incredible Spider-Man 2 for Game Boy. It all adds up to action. So exciting, you'll be climbing the walls. Oh, who wrote for these guys? And once again, it's just another case of, we know Cardiac was out to destroy companies that he knew weren't being beneficial or were being false or they were hiding corruption or crime or something like that. And he was, that's what he was all about. But he didn't care who got up in the process. He was just like, if you was in here, you wrong. So I'm beating y'all all, everybody, y'all getting it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where he was with it. Dang. Oh, so Cardiac is helping Stone to cure Sticks of his condition. Tiny Toons for the Super Nintendo. Wow. Did anybody play Tiny Toons for the Super Nintendo? Hmm. Hmm. So Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Carnage seem to have a love-hate relationship going on. Where they're like frenemies. He thought he was surrendering, and he put his staff up, and his glider flew by and scooped him. Ah, that's player. And Spider-Man was just like, forget it. I don't feel like going after him. He could have went after why can't I say Cardiac? He could have went after Cardiac if he wanted to. That was the 90s, bro. 93 specifically. That was a good year to be a comic book collector. 1993. So that makes these comics 32 years old. Well, that one. This one's 90, so it's older. Yeah, it's gonna be a while before these is worth anything. Um, Now something that is worth something. So you thought Cletus didn't want anyone tormenting Peter but him. Well, I assume that's what that whole Maximum Carnage was. Maximum Carnage. Now, who remembers Maximum Carnage? Back when Spider-Man was interesting, or even more interesting than that. Now we talk about the What If show, right? And I have always held this as like one of the best, if not the best, what if I have ever read. Because as you know, what if would do, but they would take an actual story, and it's one of them threads to spread off. Well, at this crucial moment, well, y'all, you know how what if goes. At this crucial moment, something different happened, and the whole story turned out different. Case in point, what if the Avengers had become pawns of Korvac? Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Dick, who's Korvac? First of all, if that's what you're saying, shame on you. Second of all, Korvac is a villain from the 31st century who found Galactus's world ship and siphoned off some of his power, and he had enough power to where he was just powerfully powerful, where he was overpowering powerful foes. Anyways, eventually it took a gang of Avengers plus the Guardians of the Galaxy plus Captain Marvel, that one. Miss Marvel was there too. That was back when Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel. And they all were fighting him, and he was killing superheroes left and right, murking them, murdering them, taking them out. Now, he had this chick named Karina, who happened to be the Collector's daughter. Yeah, that Collector. And he gave her a portion of his power. So she had this power, and she could have always used it, but at a crucial moment, when they all hit him and they kind of stunned him, and he didn't know if he wanted to keep fighting, and he looked over at her, and when he looked at her, she wasn't sure. And so because she wasn't sure, she was like, I have no reason to live. And he just restored life back to everybody and died. Then that when she got mad, she started murking people, and they had to finish her off. But long story short, at that crucial moment when they blast him and he looks at her, in this comic, she's like, baby, you got this. You can do this. And see what a strong, supportive woman can make you be able to do. And he obliterates the superheroes. But what he does is he uses that power and he remakes them in the same way they were, in every shape and form, except they serve him unconditionally. He had a whole bunch of Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy, all their powers, all their abilities at his disposal, and had them working for him, sending them out, dispatching them to take out beings like, I think there's a fight in here where Captain America, things like this. Captain America uses the ultimate nullifier to take out Galactus. And he just restoring people back to life left and right. If I need to use him like this, I'm going to use him like this. Sent the Vision, Thor, Starhawk and Iron Man to kill the Watcher. You know what I'm saying? And the Watcher like, let me teleport away. And the Watcher teleports and has a conversation with all these beings. Yes, that is the living tribunal. Is that serious? Korvac? Is that serious? See, the Infinity Gauntlet wasn't the first time I saw all of these beings gathered. This was the first time I saw all of these beings gathered. You see what I'm saying? You serious if you drawing all of these cats' attention. You know, instead the Grand Master, Lord Chaos, and Master Order, the Shaper of Worlds, not to mention the in-betweener, who you didn't see, and the Living Tribunal. And they getting together and they saying, do we want to do anything about this cat Korvac? Ultimately, they end up punking out and sealing that reality off from all other realities so he can't go anywhere other than that universe, which I thought was a cop-out. Send him to fight Galactus. The Gardener is with Galactus, so I don't know if y'all remember the Gardener. He's one of the elders of the universe, and yes, just like you say, gardening is his thing. Anyway, long story short, there's some ruthless battles in this comic, and some people die horribly. But long story short, Korvac gets the ultimate nullifier. Can you guess from that outline who his target was? And that was the end of the story. That's it. Everybody lost. Heroes lost, villains lost, cosmic beings lost, everybody lost. Y'all lost. So the answer to this question of what if the Avengers had become pawns of Korvac, the answer to that question would be everybody loses. Everybody. So why we ain't made this into a movie? I bet you. You heard it right here. The prophet first. I'm the first one saying it. I ain't the one called me the prophet, but they called me the prophet. There will be elements of that not that story, but the original story in the Perez run of the Avengers where they fight Korvac and Korvac murks them all. There's gonna be elements of that story probably in Doomsday, if not Secret War. Watch. Anyway, speaking of another fabulous hit from the 80s, which I can touch with my bare hands because this is the trade paperback. Yeah, you saw right. I don't even know why I keep this in plastic. I just put it on the shelf with the rest of my TPBs. Contest of Champions. The original, often imitated, never duplicated. And just so y'all know, your boy don't be faking the funk. I practice what I preaches right here. F the game, F them other comics, F the other stuff you heard. This is the Contest of Champions. And I'm going to tell you what's what in a minute. Also, I got videos on that. Y'all dig into the archive. I got it. But just let y'all know, I got the original issue 1, issue 2, and 2 issue 3s. So yeah, I keeps what I collect. At least I tried to anyway. It looked just like what you think it looked like. A whole bunch of superheroes got swept off the earth by the Grandmaster, and they had a contest. You know how the Grandmaster do. He has some stakes. You know what I mean? And his stakes, the superheroes think they the stakes. Nah, you ain't the stakes. They got these pieces of this globe, and they got to get these pieces to put this globe together, and whoever like wins the most pieces, whoever team wins the most pieces, get to use this globe. And you can use this globe to bring an unalived person back to life. And now at this time, this is why I hit y'all with the Korvac story. One of the things that happened during the Korvac saga was Korvac unalived the Collector, because the Collector was about to tell them who their true foe was, but he got unalived. The Grandmaster, Elders of the Universe, they're brothers, and he wants to bring his brother back to life. And so he's having this contest so that he can bring his brother back to life. Now, this comic introduces us to some new superheroes who some end up remaining in the pantheon of Marvel superherodom, and some we'll never see again. Case in point, who remembers Blitzkrieg? Who remembers Shamrock? Long story short, the Grandmaster wins this contest, but you can't bring somebody back to life without replacing the missing life source. You dig? It's a really cool, because basically different pieces of the globe are put in different parts of the world, and the Grandmaster picks, I think, like 12 heroes for his team, and the who we gonna call who he fighting against is the Unknown, and he's fighting against the Unknown's team, and the Unknown got hero, and they get dispatched to a place in the earth, and the Unknown's team is there, and the Grandmaster team is there, and they meet up, and they, just like what you might expect, fight to get this piece of the globe. They just start fighting each other. Oh, I know we enemies. Defensor. Who's Defensor? Does anybody remember Defensor? I mean, I think this was Bill Mantlo and Mark Grunwald taking advantage of an opportunity to just randomly cram superheroes in some shit and just be like, okay, this superhero is a superhero now, so y'all got to deal with it. These, with the trade paperback, I can fold a little bit. There we go. These are were the teams. I don't know if you there, a little further back. Now you can you see there? You can see that. These are the teams. So for the Grandmaster. I didn't understand that. My phone is so nosy. For the Grandmaster, you have Captain America, Dark Star, Captain Britain, Sasquatch, She-Hulk, Daredevil, Ben Grimm. And now the ones you don't know. Next to Ben Grimm, that's Blitzkrieg. Above him is Le Peregrine, the French superhero. And behind Sasquatch is El Defensor, the South American superhero. And then up top there, you got Talisman. He's a Aboriginal Australian. Now, the unknown team, of course, consists of Iron Man, Iron Fist, Storm, Angel, the Invisible Woman, Sunfire, and Black Panther. Now the ones you don't know. The Collective Man, Sabra, if you didn't know that's who that was next to Sue Storm. In between Angel's wings, get ready for this one, the Arabian Night. And him and Sabra don't get along because she's from Jerusalem and he's from Palestine. Wow. Anyways, then you got Shamrock up top there, and then the Russian superhero Vanguard. So that was the contestants out of all them superheroes you saw in that room. Them the ones they picked. It was like, hey, them who we gonna put in there, and then we're gonna put these new mugs who nobody never heard of. I think Talisman I might have seen again. Vanguard, he was already there. I don't think I saw Arabian Night too much more. Might have saw Collective Man maybe like 1-2 more times. Blitzkrieg, I know he was in that Captain America run. I saw him pop up once. El Defensor, I never saw again. So I'm like, why? And Le Peregrine, I seen him a couple times. So why make new heroes if you ain't gonna do nothing with them? These probably be the type superheroes they put in a Disney show. Them type of heroes you put in a Disney show. Okay. Now, classic. Now, when I say classic, I'm not playing. I mean classic. How many of y'all was born in the 1970s? Like late 70s, like 77, 78. You are only a couple of years older than this book right here. Whoever saw that book, whoever read that book, the Uncanny X-Men and the Teen Titans. Nobody? Nobody? Gatefold. Nobody. And you could tell by the art, you know what I'm saying? Who did the art? You you know what I mean? That's Walt Simonson art all day. I recognize that art from that Thor run that gave us Beta Ray Bill. Anyways, the essence of Dark Phoenix is summoned back up into the universe, and this is only shortly after the Dark Phoenix saga, mind you. And Darkseid is seducing it and playing with it and using it to his own end. And then on top of that, they got Deathstroke as their like henchman. And now see, he's excited. He used to have that book, yes, and I still have it. Yeah, man, this one is barely holding together. But it was a classic read. It was a classic read. You know what I'm saying? That was back during a time when the X-Men were super, super, super popular. And the Teen Titans were super, super, super popular. And somebody got together at Marvel, somebody got together at DC, said, hey, let's make it happen. Because I remember having an X-Men comic book and seeing an ad in it that said X-Men Dark Phoenix, Dark Apocalypse. And I was like, Apocalypse. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest with you. For me, it didn't live up to the hype. I'm it's just me. I mean, some people, I don't know a lot of people excited seeing the Avengers and the X-Men. Ooh, you know, but as far as action and it didn't do it for me. I'm just, I like the book, and if the concept was cool, you know, and there are images in this book that you would never see nowhere else, like Gar changed into a giant winged dragon, and they're all on his back, and he's standing on Metron's Mobius chair, and Professor X is in the Mobius chair controlling the Mobius chair. You won't see that nowhere else. Professor X in the Mobius chair. Ooh. Fight should be over like that. They shouldn't even be starting. Professor X in the Mobius chair. Say the best part was the artwork. Are you a Walt Simonson fan? Do you like Walt Simonson's art or his drawing style? I put it like this. For what art was doing, for what Walt was doing over there on Thor, and legions of this and throngs of that, and dark elves and trolls and Asgardian warriors, you drawing stuff like that in abundance. That's right up his alley. Boom, you do that all day, dude. You know what I'm saying? But as far as drawing like individuals, not so much. Nasi said, yeah, I think that's why I picked that book up, because of the artwork. Storm in particular. Yeah, that's when she was still literally wearing a swimsuit. Speaking specifically for what series, Theo? X-Men or Teen Titans? Cause like during the time, X-Men, X-Men, of course, was being written by Claremont and drawn by that time by John Byrne, and them were like the best and some of the most iconic X-Men story ever. Same time, over at DC, you had Marv Wolfman and the George Perez on Teen Titans, which was also the time you got some of the most memorable, iconic stories about the Teen Titans during that run. So to have both of them come together in one book, for me, why didn't you have George Perez draw it? Why didn't you have John Byrne draw it? Why didn't John Byrne and George Perez get together and share art chores? I would have enjoyed that much more, and it'd probably be worth more money if them two had did it. Yeah, okay, I see now. But yeah, and that's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. I haven't been to the LCS this week, but I think tomorrow's a good day to pop by there to see if there is something new to review. If not, I'm gonna hit y'all on that tip. With so I tell you what, I'm going to let y'all predict not predict, but decide what y'all want the next show to be about. What y'all want me to review. Whether it's old or new, but be warned, if it's new, I live in Alaska and it's going to be hard for me to get something in 1 week if I don't have it already. So bear that in mind. I mean, what is it, that's your little heart's desire to hear me talk about or remind y'all or for us to sit here and reminisce on together like we doing? Remember The Bride of Ultron. Remember that run? That's the run that gave us Jocasta. Yeah. That's the run just before all that Corvette craziness started. They had a discussion because I think at one point in that story, Ultron was hiding out in a convent, some nuns there, and yeah, there was this discussion that like Thor had a discussion with a nun and they was talking about God and gods and stuff, and I thought that was like a real deep woke conversation at the time. Anansi comes in with, what about the client? The client, okay, from Black Panther or maybe Panther's Prey. Panther's Prey. Yes. 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 Okay. Okay. The story where T'Challa finds Ramonda. Panther's Quest. Yes. I have, if you don't stop. Yeah, I have the TPB. Yeah, we could do that too. Bride of Ultron. Yeah, yeah. No. No. Panther's Rage? No, Panther's Rage is jungle action. Panther's Rage, jungle action. 4-story limited series, Panther's Prey. And when he finds Ramonda, it's first appeared in Marvel Comics Presents, but Panther's Quest. So yeah. Rage, Prey, Quest. Rage, Prey, Quest. Rage, Prey, Quest. Okay. Nitellum asks, are DC Comics excluded? Question mark, because I'm currently enjoying DC KO. Oh no, my goodness gracious. I am already doing Absolute Evil. I am already doing Absolute Wonder Woman. There might be one or two more DC titles I might want to like dive into. And then also, y'all are already getting, if you're Gen X or Gen Y, you should be checking out my reviews on Speed Racer, Gotcha Man, Ghost, Space Ghost. Is that all? Is that all I did? Oh, and Captain Planet and the Planeteers. I do reviews on all four of those comics. And we get do deep dives into those as well. DCKO. I might have to look into it. Because I know it's a lot, ain't it a lot? It's a lot of different Jones going on. Ain't that running through a couple of comics? Or is it just a particular comic? Or when Hercules got his ass beat by the Masters of Evil. Yes. Yes. I think I have the TPB on that too. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I like even more is the story that came right after that with Heavy Metal, with where all the robots got together and formed them a team and came after the Avengers. That was cold. I like that. And the Super Adaptoid was the one that was the ringleader of the robots, because I think it was like him, the awesome android, the what's his name? God, what's his name? It was Arsenal, Test One, and I want to say that was it. Oh, a Kree Sentry, and they had a Kree Sentry. So yeah, that was heavy metal. They called themselves Heavy Metal too. I'm like, okay, I see what y'all did there. But that was a cool run on Avengers too. Also, I would love to do some Legion of Superhero stories. If we talk about classics, I would like to go back to that Mike Grell run and do some of that Legion of Superhero stuff. Okay, now tell them, say, yes, it's a major event, many tie-ins too, and have an interesting story with Darkseid being omnipresent. Then I will have to pick a book I rock with and check it out from there. Cause I don't want to just pick up no book for no run, or when all they're gonna do later on is put it out in a trade paperback in 6 months, and I can just get it then and see the whole story. But if it's running in something like that I pick up like Green Lantern Corps or you know what I'm saying, or a title that I usually pick up, and it's running through all the DC titles, yeah, I rock with it. But from what I can see, it looked like the regular DC universe and the Absolute universe is getting ready to collide, and we're gonna have some interesting matchups. Theo said, I'm feeling the Legion. My brother, somebody, man, show the Legion some love. How y'all just letting all that great sci-fi superhero stuff go to waste? You know what I'm saying? Real quick, man, in the comments, list who your favorite Legionnaire was. Who was your favorite Legionnaire? Or who was your favorite couple of Legionnaires? You know what I'm saying? Magnetism has always been a cool power to me. So, I always like Cosmic Boy, but I thought that was a stupid name for him. I mean, your name Cosmic Boy, but your power is magnetism. Starboy, and you had gravity manipulation. I could kind of see that because you got some gravity with a star or something. I don't see where magnetism is cosmic. You know what I'm saying? I like Cosmic Boy. Of course, you know what I'm saying? I like Lightning Lad even even before the color swap. I like Lightning Lad. I liked Monel, Superman Light, however you want to look at it. I liked Monel. Um I like Karate Kid. Sue me. I like Karate Kid. Chameleon Boy. Yeah. I don't see what that power said, how the Legion ain't just running through everybody they come up against. But again, it's that Superman thing. We want Superman to be all powerful and almighty and unstoppable and invincible and invulnerable and never be able to be beat. But then that's boring. Don't you want your hero to have a challenge? That's what I always say, about people that's like, Superman is Superman. And don't get me wrong, I like Superman, but Superman got to be able to have his ass kicked. Otherwise, you're going to have the same comic book every month. You don't believe me? Go back and, if you can, find some of them old Superman comics from the 30s and 40s. And, that shit was resolved in like 5 pages. Which honestly is what would happen if you was dealing with something like Superman, but you adding other things now, and there's other people with superpowers, and you saying they can't overcome Superman, so you just make Superman stronger so everybody else look weak. Where's the fun in that? Because Superman was created by 2 Jewish boys who used to get bullied in their neighborhood. So we're going to make a character that nobody can ever bully. He'll be a Superman. I get it, but no. No. Theo said Karate Kid and the second Invisible Kid. Okay. Timberwolf and Wildfire. He and Dawnstar as a couple. Okay. I saw a Legion comic where like everybody like had like married off and they was like older and was living like normal lives, and Triplicate Girl, I think it was, and Bouncing Boy ended up married. Go figure. Karate Kid, Monel, Ultra Boy, Lightning Lad. I see, that's the thing about Ultra Boy. He could only use one power at a time. You know what I mean? That could be very, very good or very, very, very bad. You got all these powers? Really? Let me see you fly up in the air and punch a brick wall. Uh-oh. Well, but with the flight ring, yeah. Okay. I got ways around that too. I'm just saying, you got to use more than one power. That's a problem. But yeah, Monel and Karate Kid, they were in Lightning Lad, and Cosmic Boy. For me, that was, the upper echelon of Legionness, and you had off-brand Legionnaires, and I think they had like the substitute Legionnaires. I'm like, dang, you got a whole substitute Legion? What happened when you ain't got enough for a Legion no more? We gotta go recruit. But yeah, that was a good series. I mean, even all the series, even when it was, Tales of the Legion, it was a Legionnaires, when it was Legion superheroes, yeah. Nemesis Kid. My power is whatever fuck you up. My power is whatever is the kryptonite to your power. Who wrote him? Who created Nemesis Kid? That was somebody who used to get beat up or who never won with the toys. When you was playing with action figures, that dude never won. No one likes Tyrock. No. I don't think it's no one likes Tyrock. Nobody likes Tyrock's outfit. And so because he wearing it, it's like, bruh, I can't help you with the big the swimsuit. Nah, I can't do nothing for you, man. Yes, Nitellum. Essentially, he was Darwin, but if Darwin was really evil. Yeah, he ended up turning heel, or always was heel. I don't remember specifically, but yeah, ended up beating Karate Kid to death. I didn't like that. Because I like Karate Kid. It's like, oh, your power is you can't counter my power. Cheater, you know, you know what I'm saying? That's a cheating ass power. If you fire, my power is water. You know, just that. Come on. We can do better than that, can't we? Oh, yes, he did. He did. Princess Projectra. Yeah, they had some interesting names in the Legion. Hey, they've been around since those particular characters been around since the late 50s. So hey, maybe they in need of a retcon. But look here, y'all. We've been up at it for about an hour. That's a little longer than what I like to do. But hey, as we speak, am writing down what y'all suggestions was, because I believe in listening to my peoples. See, bam, boom. Hey, you know what? I could actually do Panther's Rage, Panther's Prey, and Panther's Quest. I mean, not all together, but I could do it. Bride of Ultron. I'm gonna do that one too. In addition to the new y'all. Masters of Evil. What about does anybody want to know about Avengers JLA? Avengers JLA. I'm putting that on the list. Avengers JLA. Because some interesting things happen. And all of those things, from what I am told, are canon. So, but not since certain characters got power boosts, so we'll have to see that. The Khonshu War. Yep. Just for you, my friend. I will add that to the list of classic ass whoopings. People need to be reminded that T'Challa has dished out. Okay. You got it, my friend. You got it. Okay, y'all. That's about time. Make sure y'all pull up tomorrow. Make sure y'all pull up tomorrow. That's going to be my Thursday live. We're going to be talking some talking. We ain't just going to be talking comics. We're going to be talking ish. And of course, Friday, me and Theo team up for the vibe and bring what you drink, bring what you smoke. We going to be vibing. Lots coming from the Rock With Me Nation and folks that love the Rock With Me Nation. So stay tuned, man. Y'all rock with us all week long. Look here. That is it for now, y'all. But fret not, I'll be coming at you with another one of them other ones. Until then, your boy Sideways.